Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's visit
Wales! Hello, welcome to another Let's Visit. We're here at Caernarfon Castle and we're going to discuss Caernarfon Castle, built by someone called Norman in the Norman days. It took him one day to build it. Very, very impressive. More information on Caernarfon Castle coming up soon, plus lots of other exciting news to do with Wales and the Welshies that live here. There are a few stereotypical things that the Welshies say. And one of them is, "Why are you, man?" And the other one's, "Boyo," and I've no idea why. Walking through the archway there of the walled Caernarfon Castle wall, it's difficult to believe that this was all made out of medieval Lego. Never let it be said that the medieval people didn't have a sense of humour. For example, there's a door there that literally would lead to your death. If you wish to enter Caernarfon Castle, you can do by walking up this walkway. It's only £9.50 per person per day. After finding out about the whispering roundabout of Scarborough, the Welshies wanted to get into the act as well, so they built themselves a massive flat roundabout of Caernarfon. To be fair, I prefer the Scarborough one. Before the Welshers invented sheep in order to make money, they used to make slate. Here's an old slate mine behind me. Slate was what was used on roofs, etc. It took a very long while to make slate, somewhere in the region of 5.5 billion years, so it wasn't very profitable if you were just setting out. However, thankfully, some people had been setting out for a long while before, so therefore they made some money out of it. Slate. Some say Wales are about 40 years behind the rest of the world, which I think is unfair. It's more like 25. But the Victorians recently have left the area, but they've still left their mark. And here we have an ugly wall, which what looks like a roof tile stuck in it. Obviously, it's one of those follies, because who would build a building that goes into a road? The Welsh people, they were notoriously small in the oldie days, so they built small houses like this one, which is round because they didn't like corners. Although, ironically, it's got more corners because it's round. Following the success of the hills that were built in the Lake District, which, like I said before, should be called the Lake District, Wales has decided to do the same, and they're even building, as we speak in the distance, a life-size replica of a mountain called Snowdon, which is in the Lake District. So they're actually building a life-size replica, and they're also going to do the Empire State Building mountain, and of course Everest mountain as well. They're going to build one of those. So if you want to come mountaining, then well, one day this will be a great place to do it. The beauty of Wales is undeniable. You just look around you, you see all these beautiful fields, these hills, these mountains. A lot of work and a lot of time and effort has gone into making Wales this nice. So hats off to all those Normans and other people who managed to make all this for us today to enjoy. There are actually more lakes in Wales than what there are in the Lake District, and that is a fact. Sometimes it's impossible to believe that these valleys were dug out by bare hands 25 years ago. I know, it's amazing. Some of the people still live around here. Welshers are a notoriously hardy bunch and very, very rarely die. Therefore, they only need 2 graveyards in the whole of Wales. This is one of them, and it's only half full because they live forever. Somebody once said there were more chapels in Wales than there are sheep. Well, when I say somebody, it was me just then. But indeed there are, like this one. Wales's main export is sheep, or rather lamb. So every field pretty much in the whole country is full of sheep. Wordsworth sang about the green and pleasant land of England and Wales. And look at this, it is absolutely beautiful. All these fields for the sheep, absolutely amazing. And of course the roads as well. For only 20 English pence, you can get in here and have a wee-wee or a poo-poo. But you have to pay 20p, otherwise you can't get out the door. I think I'm joking. Welsh hospitality at its best. Education is treated differently in the Wales, and they get their primary school children to solve puzzles dotted around towns. For example, how to unlock these 2 tyres made of metal. Any child can do it, will go straight through to university and become president of the Wales. Of course, the Wales is not all about sheep and fields, it's also about towns and stuff. like this. Due to the small size of Welsh people in the oldie days, all the streets were quite narrow as well, because they had very, very small cars back in the 1800s. They've grown now, so they've had to make the roads wider, but in some cases they've left them as they were back in the days. Squares have only recently been introduced into Wales. This one's been here for a lot longer, but due to the fact they didn't know what squares were, it's actually oblong, with a bit of a pointy bit at one end. Tunnels play a very important part of the history of Wales, as the Welsh people were always digging tunnels, a bit like hobbits, only without the hairy feet. This tunnel here goes absolutely nowhere. Caernarfon doesn't currently have a bus station, but they are building a brand new railway station, which is going to be state of the art. But only stock, not necessarily a state of the art. Yes, that's a steam engine. Rightly so, the author and actor Dylan Thomas is recognised here next to Caernarfon Castle with a statue that represents how he was very good at having seagulls balance on his head. Another beautiful part of Wales is the coastline. Here we are at Holyhead, and as you can see the water is clear, crystal, and if you win the lottery there's even somewhere to park your yacht. Alternatively, if you're a bit dangerous, you can always jump into the harbour. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you jump into the harbour? I have no idea. So here we are at Caernarfon Bay. Well, I don't know what you call it, Caernarfon docks or something, but again, lots of lottery winners here parking their yachts and boats and things. It is absolutely gorgeous. This channel was actually dug out though by school kids in 1907 for the princely sum of a packet of ice cream and some biscuits. In the distance there you can see the Meany Bridge, which goes over the Meany Bend, which is this waterway below us, and this divides Anglesey, which is where I'm stood, from mainland North Wales, which is what's on the other side of the Meany Bend. You can see from this map here that Anglesey is actually an island. Ironically, it is attached to an island, which is Wales, which is, well, 3/4 of an island, but that quarter that isn't island is attached to England, which is an island. So it's an island attached to an island and an island. So it's Wales. Prince William of Orange spent a lot of time in Anglesey in Wales, and he stayed here at RAF Valley, where he used to get his chopper out and rescue people on a regular basis. He's a hero. And here at another part of the complex we've got the playground where Prince St George first played with his dad and his mum and other kids, I assume. Now it's derelict. The beauty of Wales is plain to see for anyone, no matter where you are in Wales. The architecture, the fields, the open countryside, the sheep and everything just inspire you to become very artistic. In fact, it's been a plethora of artists and other famous people have been around in Wales being very, very creative. I'm trying to think of a famous Welsh artist. I don't think there are any. But it does inspire people, including Banksy. Here at Holyhead, there is architecture like big bridges and also lovely things like people helping people by leaving coats out, which is nice. And you think, that's lovely that, isn't it? Is it a nice thing to do? Well, it is a really nice thing to do because the people of Wales, other Wales, are very, very nice indeed. Because look, even there's another coat hung up for no apparent reason. That's fabulous. And I'm a bit nippy actually, so I might borrow one of them. Although this town looks very similar to those towns in the Lake District, you will find that there are more shippy things here. For example, an anchor, which proves that we are in Wales and actually in Holyhead, which is a part of Wales's Anglesey Island. One nice thing about the Welsh as well is that they let people with dyslexia actually write road signs. For example, bus stop, and this one is my favourite up here. Reduce speed now, but for dyslexics. As well as looking at the beautiful scenery here in Wales, i.e. the car parks and all that, you can also go for a drink like this pub here, which is called the Anglesey. Once again, we see road signs, etc., which are giving the people with dyslexia a problem. It's kind of almost like it's a whole new language. which of course it can be because Wales is part of England. I can't help but think that health and safety is a little bit amiss here in Wales, because the dyslexic sign is put before the English sign. In an emergency, that is an emergency sign. You may, it doesn't bear thinking about. Despite the fact that it's mainly sheep that are sold for meat in Wales, a few years ago they did do very, very well with horse meat. And in fact they still grow horses today, don't they, laddie? You might be in a pizza one day if you're lucky. The beauty of Wales is undeniable. I know I keep saying it, but it is true. It really is a lovely place, and as I've said before, has inspired many, many artists, including Banksy. If walking up hills or swimming in lakes or looking at sheep isn't something you want to do in Wales, well, come on holiday. Here we are in Llandudno. You'll notice a lot of similarities to the other Victorian town, which of course was Scarborough. Now in Scarborough, there's a bay, which we've got here in Llandudno. There's a beach, which we've got here in Llandudno as well. However, the beach here is a bit more pebbly. But what we've got here in Llandudno that they've not got in Scarborough is a pier. But not just any pier, it's the only pier in Wales. Victorians were famous for not liking getting wet, which is why they built this pier, so they could go into the sea without going into the sea, or getting on a boat, because that's equally risky as well. When you get to the end of the pier, you get a great view of water, but you also get a great view of Great Orme, which is a hill that people call Great. And you can drive up it, you can walk up it, or if you're Victorian, you can get a tram and go to the top, because Victorians were very lazy. Victorians never ever ever accepted dyslexia as being anything, which is why on their piers all the writing doesn't include dyslexia versions. You too can walk down the 3-mile pier here at Llandudno, and it's free, absolutely free. Ever thought of long walks, Victorian stuff and other exciting things that we can do here in Llandudno floats your boat? Well, guess what? You can do a lot worse than come to Llandudno. You can do a lot better, but you can do a lot worse. I'm not saying I'm totally obsessed with Crackdown, but I am trying to figure out how to get that orb off there. Another throwback which is still here in Llandudno from Victorian times are these canopies in front of shops. They were designed to stop people getting wet when it rained, or too sunburnt when it was sunny. As the Victorian age in Wales only ended 5 years ago, they are still pretty much complete here. Two things of interest here. One is that massive poo, which is there. That is like the biggest poo I've ever seen. And a very old-fashioned telescope. There's also an exciting fun fair, which is open 24-hour days, 7 days a week, although it's closed at the moment. Llandudno also has the world's longest outside slide. That is amazing, isn't it? Yes. There's amusement arcades like this one, gun ranges like this where you can shoot things. There are approximately 18 hotels in Wales, including this one, the Grand Hotel. Due to the major lack of hotels in Wales, caravans, which are basically hotel rooms on wheels, boxes, that kind of thing, have become very, very popular. And there are many, many sites like this one, which have got hundreds of thousands of these weird hotel rooms on them. They're called caravan sites. Welcome to the Blackpool of Wales. That's right, we're in Rhyl. Party time, 24 hours a day here at Rhyl. You can play bingo. Yep, with the most enthusiastic ever number caller. And you can listen to cars speeding away. Rhyl, what a fantastic place, where the fun never stops. This is the hip and happening place to be. If you want to be in Wales and you want to be where the action is, then Rhyl is the place for you and your family. They will love it. Rhyl is currently undergoing some regeneration, trying to make it like more popular places such as Brighton. Brighton have got the Needle. Rhyl has got the Pole. Sadly, it's not open right now. One of the strangest sights that you can see, just near enough on the border between Wales and the UK, well, Wales and England, is the QE2. It was docked here about 3 weeks ago and is undergoing repairs now, and hopefully will become a floating hotel for rich people to go on. Bit like it was when it was in its prime. So there you go, you can see the QE2 in Wales. People often ask me, why is the dragon such an important part of Wales? Dragon. The reason for that is that the last dragon in the world lived in Wales, and it was killed by St. George of England, which is why England and Wales will never get on, I'm afraid. So where you park your car in Llandudno is very important. Always make sure you park somewhere where the seagulls don't come. That's it from Wales. Hope you can visit one day. Until we let's visit somewhere else, goodbye.
Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's visit!
Just look at this view. It is absolutely amazing. It's just a shame there's a big castle there that spoils the view of the car park.